The question is, are you listening? Now, what do I mean? For this video, I wanted to share some of my personal stories where I came to realize that I actually knew already the answer to a problem that I was experiencing. I was just not paying any attention to what was going on. So let me take you back to a moment where I was still in the corporate world and I was leading construction sites, and there was a lot of pressure. Discussions about money, quality, time, about changes, just other opinions, or just people who were not collaborative, and you just sailing the ship in a direction that needs to be going. And one year I was having 10 sore throats in a row, and the year wasn't even over. And at the moment I really was realizing, okay, this is a pattern. This is a pattern. There's something happening for me now. It was not happening to me, it was for me. Because my body was telling me something is off. And of course I knew things were off. Then again, I was so focused on getting to the goal, performing every day again, with a lot of pressure, with a lot of stress. And I caught myself at a time very stressed. What's the word? I thought that I could deal with a lot of stress because I was doing it. Then again, my body was showing me it was not good. There needed something to change. So at that time, I was just only realizing the pattern or noticing the pattern. I wasn't understanding at all what it meant to me. Forward to another moment in my life, I had a huge burnout later that period. And I was not able to focus. There was so much going on. I was like surrounded by clouds of doubt, cloud of worries, clouds of not being able to perform. I was so far away from what I initially was able to do in a specific amount of time. And in that moment, it really took me 4.5 hours, what I normally could do in about 35 or 40 minutes. And it was then that I realized something is off. Like really, something is very, very, very off. And that was actually much later than the first example that I gave you. So that I think it was even 1.5 years later. Yes. So that's another moment in my life that I thought, you know, the body is speaking to me and I have to listen. Another moment in my life was when I was in my marriage, and I was really trying to avoid with all costs to go into separation. And we were both trying at all costs to avoid separation. And at some point, because I considered that's no solution, and I know for everything there's a solution, in that moment I was like, okay, that is not a solution I want to look at. So let me go through all the other options and really find what is out there for me, and for my ex-husband, for it to be a solution to make it work. Of course, my body already knew. Of course, my body already knew. In those times, I was not listening to the wisdom of my body. And that's what I mean, that your body always knows. You feel restless. It really feels like something is off. I think that's the best description that I can guide these words with, because perhaps that's the same approach, or perhaps that's the same words that you use to describe, to tell yourself, to become aware, wait a minute, I have that same feeling. And when I'm truly honest, the situation is not healthy for me anymore. So the body shows you what is not healthy anymore. It shows you through, well, let me know in the comments, what is it that you feel when something is off? For me, it was restlessness, really not able to find any peace, not able to find any balance, really like feeling suffocated, devastated. Yeah, everything but harmony, everything but harmony. Yeah, literally not able to rest, really overthink the whole time, trying to find a way out, all of that. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Because to me, if I were in those moments able to understand how to deal with a specific situation, even though if I were just to have the awareness that I needed to pause, instead of pushing myself into a direction that I thought was the solution, while it was obviously not the solution. If I would have had that understanding how my body speaks to me, I wouldn't have pursued so many months and years forcing myself into a situation that was really not healthy for me. And this is how we create this connection in the body. This is, and with ourselves, this is how we create a really negative situation for our body to be in. The cortisol that is created by you being in continuous stress, not able to find any balance. It disrupts so many processes in the body. It allows cells to divide in a specific way that is not the optimal form for you, to create new skin, to create new tissues for the body that's doing it the whole time through. So this emotional awareness, this translation, the wisdom that's in the body is a tool that you get to use to steer yourself on the journey of life. There's a beautiful collaboration that happens between the mind, the body, the soul, and the heart. And when there's misalignment, the body pinpoints it. Only we can see that, only we can hear that, only we can understand the message when we are in sync with our emotions. When we are in sync to understand what's happening in our mind, what is happening with everything that you go through on a daily basis. So I have an opportunity, I have an invitation for you. On the 20th of November, if you really want to understand that wisdom of the body, because it's your companion. The worst thing is that you create something in your body that enters your life like a hammer. Because when it's in your body, you're not able to escape it. And in those moments, you have to listen. And in those moments, you realize that you have taken it way too far. So on the 20th of November, there's a program starting, an 11-week program, Your True Authentic Self. And we go deep in that program. It's 11 weeks and it's very profound. It's everything about emotional awareness, about emotional intelligence, the intelligence of the body, the intelligence of the mind, the intelligence of the heart, the intelligence of so many processes that happen within us, thinking, feeling, behaving, acting, how you shape your life, that we are able to translate for us, to get a deep understanding, a deep awareness on what it is that you can change, that you can transform, that you can transmute from the moment you start listening. If you're interested, then let me know. You can type the word destiny in the comments and I can send you some more information. And if this speaks to you, then make sure that you subscribe, you like this, you share this with friends and family, you save this video, you come back to it, you listen to it in another moment that you want to hear things again. Perhaps it's the way I said it, perhaps it's the way that it needs to land for you. I'm very excited that this is happening because this wisdom that is shared in those 11 weeks goes deep into your core. And what you do is you really become the true observer of who you truly are, and you can start living like that. All right, that's it. Talk to you very soon. Let me know in the comments if something spoke to you, if you have similar experiences. I'm very curious to hear. You also shed a light for other people who are going through the same thing and don't know what's happening. Your comments allow people to become aware about what they're going through. And aren't we here all for one another? Talk to you very soon. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.